standing in the kitchen making green bean casseroles, motherfucker.
My best friend's a Chinese lady and she likes to groom my dog, motherfucker.
I like long walks on the beach and ponies, motherfucker.
Sitting with my homies watching Sound of Music, motherfuckers.
Sitting with my granny watching Lifetime TV, motherfucker.
Watching my little sister at the ballet, motherfuckers.
Playing bingo at the local church with my best friend Ned, motherfucker.
At the family reunion eating extra tater salad, motherfucker.
This has been a Chris Top production.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Mr. Pop.
Take it from the top.
Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
I am the one and only Chris Top.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment.
The VCR and the DVD, there wasn't that a black back in 1970. We didn't know about the World War Web was a whole different game being played back when I was a kid. Wanna get down in a cool way, picture yourself on a beautiful day. Big bell bottoms and groove long hair, just walking in style with a portable MP3 play. You can listen to the music on the Chris Top program. You can hear the music on the Chris Top program.
This is the Chris Top program.
And I'm the one and only Chris Top, broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view. You know, sometimes it just feels good. I can't even explain it, how it feels just to turn that microphone on and talk. It's been a few days since I did a broadcast. In my last broadcast, I was rudely interrupted with a phone call from Al Sharpton, and I don't know. It's just been a few days, and I want to get on here and just talk to you for a little while. Just you and me. Just pull up a chair, have us take your shoes off, and we'll just talk a little while. I'll tell you what's on my mind. It's been a year. It has been a year this month. I'm not exactly sure what the exact day is, but I know I quit smoking in February 2014. So a big congrats to me. I'm going to pat myself on the back because it has been a year. And I've been using the vape pen. Today I had a sort of a catastrophe happen. I keep my vape pen in my pocket, and it's actually kind of big. It's bigger than a pen. But it's one of those. I think it's like a day battery. It'll last me all day. Anyway, I keep it in my pocket, and it starts leaking. And all day long, I smell like candy cane. I smell so good. I really do. But my hands are kind of oily because I put my hands in my pocket, a lot to get my vape pen out, and then it's just I smell like candy cane all day long. So I brought it home and I dissected it. I took it apart, and I realized it had a crack in the tank part of it. So luckily I had a spare tank, so I put my spare tank on and I saved myself from that. But I absolutely love my vape pen. Right now I've got candy cane and cotton candy, and I've mixed it up, and that smells a hell of a lot better than cigarettes. It really, really does, and I'm pretty proud of myself. Today is Abby's birthday. She turned 4 today, and I got a little happy birthday wish from the vet in my email. So if you would like to wish Abby a happy birthday, I'm sure that would make her happy. You can tweet me and I'll pass the word along to her for sure. I was thinking the other day about something, and I'm one of those people, I always wash my hands. I always wash my hands. I'll wash them in the bathroom, and then I'll wash them when I get out of the bathroom just to make sure, because you don't ever really know what people do in the bathroom. And I've been in there before, and I'll see people do their thing, and then they'll just walk right out the door. And that just drives me insane. I just want to say, stop. Would you just please wash your freaking hands? You just went number 2, dude. Why don't you wash your hands? Then you go out there and you shake hands with people. After you wiped your ass, you're supposed to wash your hands. So anyway, I get really irritated at people when they don't wash them. And I wash them in the bathroom. I'll wash them when I come out of the bathroom just because I'm paranoid. And I'm paranoid because when I wash my hands, you don't know if the person before you that touched the doorknob to the bathroom washed their hands. So you don't know what's on there. And I'm not going to describe. Okay, so that's the type of person I am. But I wasn't always like that. When I was younger, when I was a teenager, when I was younger than that, I didn't think about germs and things. I just didn't. Did you ever go to a party when you were young, and like a Halloween party, and you just kind of hung out with everybody, and they had games, like, you'd stick your hand in these little holes, and you'd fill the eyeballs, and they were like grapes, just stupid stuff. Well, did they ever have bobbing for apples? For some reason, I had an apple in my car, and I looked at my apple, and I just automatically had a flashback. I gagged a little bit in my mouth when I thought about it. Because these are supposed to be good memories. But if you would think about it, okay, you've got these apples in this tub, in this barrel, whatever they're in, and they're just floating around, and you've got people sticking their open mouths into this stagnant tub of water all night long. The water goes in their mouth, it goes out. It's like this tub of spit. After 5 or 6 people bomb for apples, you're sticking your face into a bucket of spit and opening your mouth. I want you to be aware of this before you go to your next Halloween party and bob for apples. Think about the zit-faced kid that stuck his oily-ass face into the water. Turn the lights on and look at the water. I bet it looks like a hard rain after on the road. You know how the oil sort of comes to the top and makes little rings? Think about that. What if somebody has an open sore in their mouth and they're sticking their head in the water and they're bobbing for apples? Is that not the grossest thing you've ever thought? Have you ever thought about it like that? You're just sticking your head into somebody else's saliva. It's absolutely disgusting. I am so ready. I am so ready for The Walking Dead. I've been trying to think of ways to celebrate it, and I've come up with an idea. So I want your suggestions on my idea of how to... I know it's already played tonight, but we haven't watched it yet. I'm trying to put it off because once I've watched it, it's done. I can't go back and unwatch it and then watch it again. But wouldn't that be a great idea? I would pick my favorite movie of all time, if I could. And that's the only movie you would have to own if you could watch it and then forget it. Wouldn't that would be like the coolest superpower ever. I mean, maybe your favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption. You could watch Shawshank Redemption and be like, whoa. That's how he did it. Wow, that's the cool. And you could, every time, you would have the same reaction. Wouldn't that be cool if you could just totally forget? Okay, I'm getting sidetracked, and I do that a lot. And if you've ever listened to the Chris Top program, you know how I am. I ramble, and I get sidetracked, and I might talk about 10 different stories within a story, and that's just how I am, and I can't help it. And I'm not going to try to be somebody else. I'm just not. But if you're okay with that, I would love it. I would absolutely love it if you'd follow me on Twitter. I would absolutely love it if you would talk to me on Facebook. And if you want to talk to me right now, all you have to do is go to thechristoprogram.com and leave some questions or something in the comment. And, hey, Ghost, how are you? It's good to see you. Steve the Ghost is in the chat along with Allie Top. But if you'd like to communicate with me just automatically, you can always join the show live and talk to me in the chat. But if you're listening on iHeartRadio, if you're listening on Stitcher, then you're going to have to tweet with me or Facebook with me, something like that. And I'll read your questions, I'll answer your questions or whatever when I do my next live broadcast, or just join me live, whatever you want to do. I'm really not picky, but I do love to hear from you. I love to hear from you. I do. Now, I'm going to talk about my Walking Dead idea. And if you've already seen it, please don't say anything because I haven't watched it yet. But I have a great idea if you'd like to celebrate The Walking Dead with me. But there's pros and cons. But we'll talk about it in just a sec. I get Dollar Shave Club blades delivered, so I always have a shave with a fresh blade. Does that make me a genius? Yes. Yes, it does. I use the 4X, a.k.a. the Lover's Blade. Just go to thechris.program.com and click on the Dollar Shave Club link, and you will never spend a fortune on shaving again. You might look at it as a great close shave experience, but I look at it as one step closer to being awesome.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
I would strategically place Legos into the home of a blind man.
Yeah, I get you. I get stuff to do.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Hello, fellow citizens. This is the latest in dork news from around the world. Those wacky potheads may not be as high as they think. They may have our milk money, but we still have all of our brain cells. Fellow dorks, never fear. Those mean girls who steal your bike every day are going to soon end up in Jailsville. Let's see how life looks behind the slammer. Not so much fun making knives out of soap just to survive, is it, ladies? Remember, kids, be a dork, be proud, be hip.
And I'm the one and only Chris Stomp. In the United States, I'm known as King, or as President. I haven't done this in a while. I'm known as President of Dorks. In the UK, I'm known as King Dork. In many parts of the world, I'm very ashamed of this, I'm known as the Great Dork Tater. South of the border, I'm known as El Dorco. But it's so good to see you today. Now, my Walking Dead idea. Allie and I were big fans of the show. Just giant fans of the show. And I was trying to think, well, we could just sit around and just eat some chips or something and watch it, or popcorn or whatever. But then I thought spaghetti. And I thought what you could do is you could actually take like maybe a stuffed animal or something and just cut it open and put spaghetti in it. Then you could actually eat the spaghetti out of the stuffed animal while you're watching The Walking Dead. And it's like you're a zombie eating the insides of some. And it was just an idea. But then I thought, well, you could, if you don't want to eat like Winnie the Pooh's guts, I get that. But you could take it one step further. And see, this has got its pros and cons. And you could actually, and you don't want to just ask a friend to do this because it nearly needs to be a stranger. It makes it more real. Because, if you're going to be a zombie and you're just eating random people, it's got to be somebody that you don't know. And one of the big cons is this is kind of dangerous. And you could get arrested. But I don't think there's a moral dilemma here. Just because your intentions are okay. They might be a little weird, but I think your intentions are okay. And I've went back and forth on this with my mind all day, trying to think, well, is this immoral? No, I don't think it is. So anyway, it's going to start out sounding immoral, though, because, well, you have to hire a prostitute. But so I guess you could just go on the internet, find a prostitute. And as long as it's not a sting operation, you're going to be okay. So the prostitute comes to your door, and I'm sure they've been asked to do lots of weird things in the past. So this would probably be nothing for them. So she walks to the door, and you're like, yeah, well, I read your ad, and it said that you're fetish friendly. Well, what I was thinking was, and then at that time you just pull out maybe 2 cans of Chef Boyardee. And then, I just want you to just lay on the floor, and I'm going to just eat the spaghetti off of your stomach, maybe off your throat, stuff like that. But while I'm doing it, I need you to scream. And see, I first thought prostitute because they're going to be the most okay with this. Because if you just walk down the road and you just say, hey, dude, I'll give you $100 if you'll just let me eat. What? No. And then it won't work. So I think a prostitute would be more prone to listen to you. So you just get a prostitute to come to your house. And if it's a sting operation, if a cop shows up, well, then you're pretty much screwed. Because you could be like, look, dude, I wasn't going to have sex for money, I promise. I've got these 2 cans of Chef Boyardee. Look, right here, 2 cans of SpaghettiOs. The cop's going to be right. No, come on, you're going to jail. See, it wouldn't work. So you've got to, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous idea, but it could work. And it could be, I don't know, it could be fun. And it would be a good way, I think, to sort of segue in to the second half of The Walking Dead. And I've been just waiting. I watch these other shows. I watch the superhero shows. I watch The Arrow, and I watch Flash, and we sort of got into Bates Motel, stuff like that.